It was only Bournemouth's second season in the Championship, having won promotion from League One 2 years earlier. They'd finished in their first season in a respectable mid-table position. Last year, they took the division by surprise and by storm. They were the best team in the division throughout the season.
Finishing 10th the season before, I think most fans thought that we could maybe do a little bit better the following season. But I don't think anybody really, even at the club, probably thought we'd actually win the division. So to go up as champions was beyond everybody's dreams.
On the final day of the season, they got what they deserved, finishing top of the league thanks to a victory over Charlton.
I think, well, actually at half-time I was quite already celebrating because the crowd was singing the Match of the Day theme tune. And the radio told me that Sheffield Wednesday had scored against Watford. We suddenly realised we were going to be the champions, and I sort of quickly got my camera out and filmed as many of the fans' faces around me as I could, just to see their expressions. And then all of a sudden it sort of filtered through with people that, yeah, we were going to be champions.
5 or 6 years ago, Bournemouth were in a financial mess. They almost dropped out of the Football League.
It's traditionally one of the most difficult jumps to make, of course, from the Championship to the Premier League, all the more so for a club of Bournemouth's size. The club's fairytale rise to the Premier League was bankrolled by the club's reclusive Russian owner, Maxim Demin. He'll have to keep putting his hand into his pocket if they're going to first of all, redevelop the stadium to Premier League standards and, more importantly, provide a squad that can compete and potentially keep them in that top division until the increase in Premier League TV income comes in a season's time.
Perhaps the biggest focus for Bournemouth will be making additions in defence, where the challenges of keeping out Premier League strikers like Sergio Aguero, Diego Costa will be harder than anything they'll have faced in the Championship in the past 2 years.
The big signing, of course, is Tyrone Mings, £8 million. To come in at left back. I saw a little bit of him obviously when we played Ipswich last year. We didn't get the better of him that often, I have to admit.
They have signed Joshua King, who's a fast striker from Blackburn already, and Adam Federici, a goalkeeper, has been signed from Reading. There's been criticism from other clubs about the level of Bournemouth's expenditure, but what should also be said is that it's also a victory of coaching and planning. The manager, Eddie Howe, they see him as a god, and he was voted the Football League's Manager of the Decade in April, and followed that up by being named LMA's Manager of the Year.
What he's done for the club is truly amazing. I don't think certainly the club would be in the Premier League without him. I think he will eventually sadly go on to even better things and bigger things, but I'm glad that he wants to lead the club in the Premier League. I think Eddie will have them very well prepared, even pre-season. He's been looking at teams that have gone up and done well in the top divisions, and he's learned a great deal, I imagine, in the last 7 years.
When it comes to expectations in the Premier League, I think Chelsea actually met all of those pre-season hopes.
We looked hungry from the off, and I fancied us, and we've done well and fully deserved it.